Greetings everyone, this is KamishaRa from KamishaRa's Corner on Sensational Touch, and I'm making some butters this evening. I'm supposed to be vending tomorrow, and I did say that I was going to have butters, and I didn't make them. So I only have a little bit of shea butter left, so I'm going to use the rest of the shea butter that I have, and I'm going to make some butters. Now, making a body butter is really simple. It can be complicated if you want it to be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can be very expensive if you want it to be, but once again, it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can create a wonderful, lovely butter that is an oil-based moisturizer that will not cost that much, but have skin-loving ingredients and smells great too. Excuse the noise. Now, when you're making a butter, what you're essentially doing is softening up whatever butter that you're using. It could be mango butter, cocoa butter, shea butter, avocado butter. It doesn't matter what kind of butter that you use. But what you're doing is you blend it. You could either blend it with a whisk. You can blend it with a stick blender. You can blend it inside a regular blender. It doesn't matter. And that helps to soften up the butter, and it's also kind of pushing air into the formulation of the butter at the same time, so it makes it really fluffy and light. So if you were to use shea butter by itself, it can be very dense and hard to rub in. So if you're dealing with like a baby, or more importantly, if you're especially dealing with an elder person, the shea butter itself may be a little too thick and a little too hard to really moisturize the skin well. But when you blend it, and sometimes some people will add a little bit of extra oils in it, like avocado oil, which is really excellent for the skin, or an olive oil, or maybe even a little coconut oil. It helps to thin out the butter, and it just makes it a lot easier for it to maneuver onto the skin. Okay, so my shea butter has been, I use a raw shea butter. So when you use raw shea butter, you definitely have to get it soft enough to strain out the particles, because raw shea butter tends to have particles in it that you don't want to be in the end product. So mine is still a little loose. So I'm going to take and put it in the refrigerator and allow it to solidify a little bit more before I blend it, continue to blend it. So I will be back. So I am back. I have allowed the shea butter to harden up some more. And then I'm going to take and whisk it a little bit more. So excuse the noise again. You can see how hard it is. Just going to use my spatula and get the shea butter from out of the corners. So when I'm blending my shea butter, as you can see, it's a lot of blending. But you don't want that to happen. Now, just put that there. Make sure your parts are on tightly. So I have blended this until it's nice and soft. And that I've blended it till it's nice and soft, in case you didn't hear that. And there are no bits left, and it's a nice creamy butter. Oh. Looks like I'm going to be needing another one of these. Keeps falling off. Let's see if I can get that off. And then all there's left to do is to add the scent and bottle it up. Now I have my jars. I only have 4 jars here right now. I've cleaned them, wiped them out nice and clean, get them nice and sterile with some alcohol. And I'm going to be using a scent called Relaxation. This is I don't make the scent itself. I buy them. I buy the scents, because making a scent, that's like a whole nother industry. But this scent is really great. It's a very relaxing blend of rose, lavender, and some citrus scents that are really, really, really nice. And I call it Aqua's Dream. So I'm just going to add this to there. And if you hear anything in the background, that's my television. I'm hoping you can't hear it too much, because that's definitely not what I want. Alrighty, so I'm just going to mix this again. Some people put like oil-based colorants that can give a nice color to your butters, and there's certainly nothing wrong with that, but I do not add colorants to my butters. I just leave it the natural color of the butters that I add and the oils that I add, and leave it at that. Okay, so this is nicely mixed. I'm going to take my other spatula, because this one is a little flimsy. As you can see, it bends really easily. And my other one is a little bit harder, and it'll be able to scrape the bottom. So I'm going to use that one to finish mixing. Alrighty, so I'm just going to scrape this off. Okay, so this one is allowing me to scrape the bottom. Make sure it's well mixed. Okay, and then I'm going to scoop it in my jar. And I usually change up my formula a little bit when I'm making butters in the summer, because as you know, with the heat comes a lot more chances, a higher chance that, of course, the butters will melt and spill. So I usually make it a little thicker for the summertime, just to kind of offset the heat, the process of the heat, you know, melting the butters. And in the winter, you can make it a little bit thinner. Alrighty, it's time to scoop it in jars. That's my television in the background. It's getting kind of loud. Sorry about that. I should have turned it off. But that's okay. I'm scooping it into the jar. And then all I'm going to do is close it up, put a label on, and I'm making a mess. And these are ready to go. So just try not to make a mess like I did and get all of the butter in the jar. This probably would work better with a spoon, but I didn't have a spoon. I had my spatula, so I'll just make do with that. Now this is going to make more than what's going to fill these jars. I might have extra jars. I have to go in my... Oh, I am really making a mess. If you make a mess, just clean it off with a paper towel and some alcohol. So that when you put your label on, it's not all full of oil. I might add some more to there after I bang them down. Yes, normally I use a spoon, or, oh, you know what I can do? Aha, that works a little bit better. So I will be vending tomorrow. By the time you see this, that vending event will have passed. But I'm vending tomorrow, and that's why I'm getting these ready tonight. Okay, so I'm just going to get a paper towel, bang these down, and clean these off. Okay? I'll be right back. That's all I do to bang them down, by the way. It helps get the bubbles to the top if there's any bubbles. And then if I need to add more, can. Okay, so I've been wiping off the outside. Add a little bit more to this. I like to keep them nice and full, but not too full. Okay, these have been cleaned off. Now, just to make sure that the outside are not full of oil and slippery so that the labels will stay on properly, I'm just going to get a little alcohol and wipe them down again. Okay, and of course, if you don't make a mess, then you don't have to do this step. But it definitely helps if you've made a mess like me and got oil on the outside of the jar. Okay. So my labels actually are small labels that just sit right on the top. And I don't have labels for the side. You always want to have some kind of label with your ingredients to let people know what's inside. This is my Alosha Butter Whip oil-based moisturizer. You could use it on your body. You could actually use it in your hair if you wish. It doesn't have those extra ingredients that you might put in a hair product, but it'll still be a very good moisturizer for the hair as well as for your skin. But it's made for the skin. That's the primary purpose of it. But if you want to use it in your hair, you can. Alosha body butter. These will be on the website, and I'll also be filming with these tomorrow. So I'm going to fill the rest of these. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe, like, share, comment, and let me know what you'd like to see next. And I will see you on the next video. Good night.